Hey, AfterBuzzers, it's our favorite time of the week because we're talking the bold type, episode 8, the end of the beginning, so stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
We all were singing this right before the show started, and we all sounded really good. It's like, I don't want to ruin it for you guys. I'll leave it up to Jessie J. Thank you guys so much for joining us on another week of a recap for the bold type, guys. I think this is one of my favorite days of the week. I think our whole panel can say that. Before we get into the major discussions of today's, it was sweet and sour, the whole episode. But before we get into it, let's introduce ourselves. Becca, where can they find you on social media?
I'm back. Y'all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BeccaBrown.
And make sure you guys join Becca in the chat. She'll be responding to you guys.
Hi, Taylor Gates.
Hey! Taylor! Taylor, we miss you. And I'm introducing you on the panel right now since I always forget.
Alphabet Ann.
Alphabet Ann. And Kia, where can they find you?
Hi guys, I'm Nakia Monet and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Bombo. I matched the mic. I look like a bumblebee.
I didn't even think about that until you pointed it out.
She's very ABTV.
I am.
Devyn, where can they find you on social media?
What's up, guys? It's Devyn Howard. You can find me on all social media at Dining with Devyn.
Carla.
Hey guys, I'm Karla Beltran. You can find me on Instagram at Karla B Travels and on Twitter at Karla Beltran with an R at the end.
And hey guys, it's your host Ally Nasta. You can find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at Ally Girl. And of course, don't forget to follow AfterBuzz TV on all our social media platforms: Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube. Go download the podcast on iTunes. All that social media stuff. But man, speaking of social media, Kat, the social media director, was the only one that was safe this episode in the series of the layoffs. When she first got this secret to not tell her friends, what would be your first reaction? Would you want to immediately tell them?
I would tell my friends.
You would tell them.
I would text them. I'd be like, oh my gosh, you might get fired.
Really?
I don't think I would. I think I probably would have called my mom, and I would have been like, Mom, my friends are going to get fired, help. And then I would have vented to her, and then kept, because it's like you have to respect the confidentiality of the job and the information you've been given.
That's tough. I'm like in the middle. I'm like both. I think I would sit on it first. Pause. I would sit on it first and think about it because you're right. You have to respect your job and your the confidentiality. Jesus, I'm not speaking right. And
it's okay.
Jacqueline trusted Kat, and that's something like if your boss is telling you not to say something. But I think I would hint to my friends a little bit, a little bit more than Kat was doing. I'd be like, hey guys. Just, but I don't think I would. I don't know. This is tough.
I feel like Jacqueline kind of knew that Kat was going to tell the girls, and I think in that case scenario, she kind of was like, hey, just as a heads up. And I like the fact that she told her because in a way she was able to tell her friends too. And even though they did freak out a little bit, at least they were able to kind of go out of the comfort zone and perform and do something different than they normally do.
And also cover their bases, like talking with insight or, really stepping up to the plate when she needed to during when Sutton needed to during the photo shoot.
Yeah.
Put a fire under their ass.
Yeah.
I feel like that's good once in a while. But I feel like Jacqueline was testing her just a little bit because she obviously knows that the three of them are best friends. And I think she wanted to see if she can take on that responsibility of keeping the secret and doing the right thing for her job, which she, Jacqueline felt like she did. And that's why, what happens at the end happens.
It's funny because I had two different reactions. When I was thinking, I was like, well, I totally wouldn't tell them because I am the kind of person that when I have a secret, even my mom and my sister, they'll tell me secrets. And I can't, even if it's about a Christmas present or something, I won't say anything. And so then whenever my mom or my sister finds out, they're like, you didn't tell me. And I'm like, yeah, because they said keep a secret.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I was thinking how even if I had things at work, I don't tell my roommate anything and she's my best friend.
Right.
And so then I was thinking of it in that scenario, but then I was like, ooh, but this is different because they work with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are just your best friends that you can keep your work sometimes separate. That is so hard because I obviously would want to tell my best friend everything, especially something that's going to affect her future.
Right.
So I felt like that was so tough to not want to say anything.
Yeah.
And so obviously the way that it came out, it kind of slipped. But I honestly thought as soon as she did tell Adina, someone was going to find out sooner or later.
Yeah.
And I think it was I thought personally that she was gonna tell them like right off the bat, so that they would be like, hey, you know what, like maybe start looking for other positions, so that because if they did, like, let's say, knocking on wood, not like worst case scenario, they did get fired and Kat knew, but the girls didn't prepare for it, then this was just like something that happened, and then at least with Kat letting them know, they kind of were able to like. Jane went on an interview. She wrote another article that she was more interested in, and Sutton went up, and then she just like took charge of the photo shoot. So I think like all of these things were done because they kind of knew about it, rather than if they wouldn't have known. Then I think things would have been different.
Jacqueline also used Kat kind of, because I think that Jacqueline also wanted the girls to know and to do better, but because of her position, I felt like she couldn't bring them all in and be like, hey, just let you know. Yeah. Like, I feel like she could do that with Kat, but I think she kind of used Kat. Like, if I use Kat, maybe Kat can talk to her friends and maybe put that fire under their ass. I don't know. Yeah. Instead of Jacqueline doing it. And I feel like she thought that Kat, like, these are her homegirls. Yeah. She's probably going to definitely tell them. Maybe they'll listen to her because I'm the boss, and they might not listen to me. They might think that I'm, like, judging them or coming down too hard on them.
Right. Becca, did you have something you want to say?
People in the chat are giving their opinions.
Yes.
Hey, chat.
There's a lot of people in this chat, so I want to read some comments. Vidra said I would tell them. Aslan, probably pronounced that wrong, said, I can't even imagine being in Kat's position. I see both sides of the Kat, Jane, and Sutton conversation.
Totally. I think that one's a good one because I mean, I was thinking about it. Like, I was watching that part of the episode thinking one thing, and then all of a sudden I was like, no, I would have to tell them. They're my best friends, and this is their job that's on the line.
Yes. Yeah.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
Sorry. You know what's interesting, though, is Jane was the one who was like, Kat, we're your best friends. You should tell us. But I think if Jane had been given that information, she wouldn't have told them.
You're right.
You're absolutely right.
She's
I
like
agree.
kind of a goody two shoes.
Right.
And like, yeah.
Well, that brought up a good point too. And really quick before we get back to the chat, which we can get into a little bit later, I thought it was a little bit too much the way that they came on to her about being really rude, because it's not like like, obviously, there's someone that they want to be mad at in this situation, but it's not Kat's doing. She's not the one making the decisions. She's just the message. What is it, the message? Messenger.
Same. Let's do the same thing today.
Yeah. Like, what is it? Like, don't shoot the messenger or whatever. Right. So I just think that I just felt like they were just being too harsh on her. It was too pushy, you know?
Yeah.
And the way that they were just trying to get information out of her, I think that's something, too, where sometimes in a professional setting like that, you're not going to know all the answers, and you really do need to sit back and you need to almost appreciate the fact that your best friend is being the professional they're looking at for their career in the long run too.
Yeah.
Going back to the chat.
Yes.
Sarah says, I would have told my friends if I thought they could keep a secret.
Right. Which that brings up another point. Did you guys find it annoying where they knew it was a secret that Kat was keeping, but that they were spreading it to other people?
Right.
But didn't Alex hear it from somebody else?
He did.
And they were hearing it from elsewhere. Were they spreading it? I didn't know.
Like telephone.
I think it just felt like that because Alex and them, they were all like kind of just like chatting it up before coffee.
But I think Alex knew before the girls.
He did.
He did, but then they kind of like conversed about having like Kat had told them. So they had like another source. So if that, like, my thing is, if you're gonna go tell Alex, obviously you can trust him, but like, what if he wasn't trustworthy? What if he was going to go throw under the bus? That was kind of my frustration with that one.
Speaking of that, David said the episode was a little scary. At least Alex and Jane had a backup, though.
Yes.
Which was kind of to the anxiety.
Yeah. Well, did Alex really have a backup? Because I think Jane was offered the job at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
it's gonna be drama when Alex finds out.
Which that was kind of interesting to me because I didn't get the vibe that Jane was going to get it over Alex. I thought that they were just trying to purge all of Scarlett's journalists because they knew that they possibly would be maybe getting rid of them anyways, and they're like, ooh, great talent. I want them on my team, because what it sounded like from Insight is that they're basically hiring on a bunch of people because they have this huge platform that they want to cover. So I don't know. Because I did think that too, but I just am wondering if maybe is Alex going to get offered the same position? You know, I don't know.
That's scary. I was scared. I thought Alex was going to get fired only because he was so open with Jacqueline.
Right.
And I thought, not for her to be mean, but I just thought that she was like, all right, we do need to get rid of someone. He did say he was going for a job. I was nervous about that. I was like, God, I hope he doesn't get laid off.
Yeah, that's a risky move. Have you guys ever done that before? Like told another job that you're looking, or like?
Yes.
I actually, yeah.
Yes, I have.
And that was only because it was kind of like they had said, you know, if you're ready, then like we should probably start talking about it. But it was more of like helping with like professional development. You know what I mean? Like, let's kind of like have this talking, which I think it is kind of sad that it is something to be, it's like a tainted topic to not talk about, you know, trying to get a new job. Because I feel like a good manager, obviously, Jacqueline was in an iffy situation because of the fact that she was having to deal with possible layoffs. So if someone were to quit, it'd be, you know, maybe better for them. With a good manager, they're going to be like, well, let's see what this is because I want to keep you and I want to keep you here. What can we do to make you stay? What can we help you grow? And it kind of helps you put out that plan. So I just feel like it's sad that it's like a tainted thing, like that you're like looking. I don't know. It just is like, it's all like, I don't know, weird.
Like secretive.
Yeah, you have to be so secretive about it. It's all
one of the jobs I had, they were really open about it and they encouraged people. Because like a good manager wants you to grow. They want you to take the next step. They don't want to hold you back and keep you staggered and keep you in a position that they know you can grow from. So one job that I had, they really encouraged people to look for things that can better you and get promoted, and they stayed in contact with people. So that's one thing that I do like.
Right. Is there anything else in the chat that people are talking about?
Taylor agrees with Nakia
Hi,
on
Taylor.
the situation. She said that she agrees that Jacqueline kind of expected Kat to leak the info to a select few people.
Yeah. Jacqueline knew what she was doing.
I see that. I think so.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think about that, but it does make a lot of sense because then obviously then the rumor will start spreading and then people will kind of maybe either start working harder or people that don't really want to be there anyways, maybe
because if it's coming from Jacqueline, you're scared. You're like, oh no, but I think if it's coming from your peer,
right?
And they're like, all right, maybe if you step it up, they might listen to you a little bit more than your boss because now you're just totally scared if it's coming from Jacqueline. So I felt, I don't know, not that I'm a writer or anything. I don't know if this is true, but that's the vibe that I was getting. And I felt like she purposely, of course, it's that her job was safe, but she kind of let her be the gatekeeper in this situation.
Of course.
By the way, I had a question, guys. I don't know, we were probably going to ask, but what would you guys do if you were in the scenario that happened? Like if you were to get laid off, like what would you do like the next day?
Like,
I've been laid off before.
If you could do like anything, I guess.
I would probably book a flight, a one-way ticket to somewhere new. I've been wanting to go to Argentina.
Nice.
Oh, that's fun.
I would go there and then figure out what I'm doing once I get there.
So you're very Cat in this
very
situation.
spontaneous.
Yeah, I've done it before too. So it's
where did you go?
Australia, and I didn't come home for like 11 and a half months.
Oh, that's amazing.
What? What did you do out there? Did you work?
That's funny.
I lived in Australia. Yeah, I was like there. I would
That's so dope.
Yeah,
that's actually
so
what
fun.
I was gonna say. That was my answer to the question. Well, I would go to live in Australia. Like if I had if it just it all ended, then I would, because I know that in Australia you could get like the 1 year visitor visa where you could even work. So you could be there working and enjoying life for a full year. So Australia would be my plan B.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so crazy,
That's
Devyn. What did you do?
I was just there living and enjoying life.
Just living the life in Australia. That's amazing.
And I worked a little bit and then traveled for 3 months after, and then
that's so
I like how you were
fun.
I just worked
I just went to Australia. I was there for almost a year.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was so fun. It was the exact thing that I needed. And I think everybody should do something like that at least once in their life, even if it's only for 2 months or 6 weeks or 8 months. Do it.
Right.
That's so fun.
That's so dope. I was laid off a while ago, and I remember the day I got laid off. Well, the day before I got laid off, I worked for this company. It was actually a fashion company. Great site to shop at. I'm not going to tell you which one it is. Not going to give them props. No. The day before, they took us all. I remember I had just got a promotion. I was there for 2 years. I got this amazing promotion. They took us all to the Yankees game, and we all sat in the box area, and we had drinks and food. I'm like, this is amazing. The next day, I got laid off. I was the first person because, Sutton said, last one in, first one out. And I was the last one who got promoted. And it was so crazy. And I was super sad. And I remember crying. But I actually remembered literally, I hated that job. So at that moment, I remember we had a Brooklyn office, the one that I got promoted from. I went to the office and they already heard that I got laid off. So when I walked in, they had drinks ready for me. We went out for drinks and I realized I actually didn't like this job. And I felt like it was God or whoever you believe in was like, no, girl, I got you.
Yeah.
Now I would do what Devyn did and I would literally just get a one-way ticket and just travel somewhere.
Yeah. Right.
Back then I was just like super sad. But I did go out for a drink. I did what Sutton did. I went to a bar.
Yeah.
The next day I woke up like, okay. I was like, at least I went to a Yankees game. And it was Derek Jeter's last game. So I was actually happy.
Oh,
So
wow.
I actually worked out.
Yeah.
So we have a Sutton and we have 2 cats, basically.
Becca, what would you do?
I'm kind of convinced about like going to another country. I don't know.
Let's just all go to Australia, guys.
All right, guys. We're going.
Let's all go to group trip to Australia.
Let's just all go to
Let's
Australia.
have a bold type panel trip to
Yeah, we'll just like
It's gonna be
live
great.
stream
If you live in
with you.
Australia,
Yeah, we'll be on Tuesdays.
Good day, mate. It's the bold type panel.
if anyone wants to
We're here.
give
Have
us a
some
place to
Bobby.
stay for
That's all
free,
I
that'd be
know.
fab.
What would you do, Allie?
Oh man, I probably would buy. I honestly would book a ticket to London to go see my best friends. And probably just like figure it out from there. I've always I've studied abroad in Australia, so I would love to go to the East Coast because I only went to the West Coast. But I think my first initial reaction would probably be to go to London and just be like, hey guys, I'm here. Like, figure it out. I always told them, I was like, if things don't work out, I'll just go to, see whatever I can do out there.
Yeah.
I'll just like slum it with them for a little bit, figure it out.
You see, I never really understood why like some people kind of get really like intense and depressed about like, oh my gosh, if this doesn't work out, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. And it's like, well, there's so many different things you can do. Like the whole world is out there for you to like do something.
I think people get scared though. I think like depending on who you are, because certain people's job is like it's your livelihood.
Right.
Like I know for me, even though I hated that job, the fact to know like it was the fact that I didn't have the option to quit. I was let go. So then you start to think, damn, like am I a horrible person? Not realizing actually no, they just had a company layoff. It has nothing to even do with you.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you brought up that point because there was something that they kept saying that we're gonna get canned, we're gonna get fired. I'm like, but you're not getting fired.
Right.
You're getting let go because the company can't sustain you like financially. And that was something I really wanted to point out because it had nothing to do with their work ethic. It had to do with the fact that the company couldn't pay for them. But luckily they could. They found the funds. They laid off certain other people. But that's something too is I think some people I wouldn't want anybody to feel like it's them ever because it's not. Laying off just means it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate situation, but it's something
and you get a severance package.
Yeah.
I didn't know, when I walked out the door, I was so sad. And my friend's like, bro, calm down. You've been laid off. I'm like, you know what? You're actually right.
Yeah, because
it's crazy that your mind goes there, though. You're like, oh, I'm fired. I suck. And they're like, no. The company just had to lay off like 100 people. And you'll get a package. You'll be fine. And sometimes that package may wear out. And I get why people are scared because some people, it's their livelihood. And sometimes they don't have a plan B. I get it. But I think also it's people just don't know.
Yeah, and not only that, but people like to be secure, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're paying rent, and if some people have kids,
adulting is not fun.
No, there's a lot that comes along with it.
I do not want to be an adult anymore.
Vidra in the chat said I would job hunt like crazy because I have kids. So.
Yes.
Exactly. And then Sarah E said I took a week to process and then search for a new job.
That's what's up.
That's probably what I would. Yeah,
I would do
let's
that
be
too.
realistic. I don't have money to be traveling all that.
It sounds great.
So yeah, in my ideal world,
entered the lottery a couple of times.
Yeah, but no, I wouldn't
all
have
my money on the lottery.
I wouldn't have any money to be doing the traveling, but that would be my ideal move. I probably would honestly be like, okay, crap, let me start applying. Let me start reaching out to my network. Let's see what's going down.
Sorry, but also another thing is I would, you would probably start working more in what you want to do.
Yes.
Yeah. Or just get something that's making
exactly why people. That's why it's like when I got laid off, I didn't want to work where I was working, and then I got the chance to actually move to LA and do what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
and you're here with us.
And I'm here with you, ladies.
I love it.
It's a blessing in disguise.
It is.
And
Becca,
real quick.
Yes.
David said that he got laid off once, and they told him the same day, he was very hardworking. So back to what y'all were saying
Aw.
about that.
Aww. David.
Hardworking
Remember
stuff,
David from
so-
last week? David was like the little player that was in there.
Yeah. Thank you guys again
Yes.
for joining us in the chat. It makes it so fun to hear your guys'
Yes,
opinions on
I
this
love
too.
it.
too.
Reading all these comments.
Keep it
are so
coming.
great.
Keep it coming, guys. Well, I also want to point out really quick, we didn't get too much of Richard this episode, but when he talked to Jacqueline,
Carla's boo.
we all freaked out because we thought that he was about
Carla
to talk
especially.
about Sutton.
My stomach
Oh,
dropped.
I thought he was gonna quit.
I thought he was gonna quit too.
to be with
I thought he was gonna
That's what
say,
I thought.
"I'm with Sutton, and you guys are gonna have to suck it." That's
Oh,
why
yeah,
I
I
thought he.
didn't get that
Oh.
at
Oh.
all.
Yeah, me neither. I thought he was gonna quit.
Yeah.
So it's like we were all nervous, but for like different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
Okay.
had nothing to do with being laid off. But I thought it had to do with Sutton for sure.
They
Yeah.
totally set it up like that.
That was
Yeah.
good.
The way that he went in and was like, it's a hard conversation or something, I thought he was gonna say, I'm
Oh,
resigning
man.
or whatever.
He
But
looked a little rough too. Looked like he was like growing like a little stubble and a
He
little
doesn't.
beard.
Yeah, he looks really
I
upset.
was
Like,
like,
just angry. Like his face just looked angry.
He's depressed.
Not only that, but when he went to go get the coffee, and then Alex, of course,
he's
was
standing there.
there, standing next
And
to
he's just like,
Sutton.
I feel
I
like
would be like, hell no.
he's always making that weird thing with his lips. He's
Yeah.
always like,
yeah,
He's
that's
pouting.
true.
Like
Yeah.
a poker face.
He's
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
He's always
man.
pouting.
But
yeah,
yeah.
he's always doing weird lip things. Anyway, that's another
Hashtag weird
conversation.
lip thing.
Well, I guess we could just go on over to the other 3 group dating kind of
Oh,
thing
yeah.
that the girls
Gosh.
went on. That's why this episode was so funny because it was very up and down. There was a lot of love, there was a lot of passion, and then I don't know, just like sadness as well. But with the group dating, that was just very interesting. I've actually heard of people going on
Same.
these group dates, but I've never been on one, and I don't even know where you would like. Is there an actual like app that
Yes.
is it just for group
what is-
dating?
I
You
really-
can well the way it used to be, I don't know if it still does it, but she referenced Tinder. You used to be able to go on Tinder and do the whole group dating thing. It was like a new
And so
part
do
that
you
they
just
add on it.
you meet up with a group of people and like
Yes.
at a location?
One of my old coworkers actually did that, and she's like, "Do you want to go?" I'm like, "No, don't add me in
Did she
anything."
did she say it was
It was like
good?
her, 2 of her friends, and they ended up meeting with like randomly 3 guys. And she said it was very interesting, but then they all got bored, and then they all parted ways. But you can literally do a group date off
feel
of
like
Tinder.
this is
I think
like
it sounds fun.
Not that I'm on Tinder or anything. I'm just saying this is what I heard.
yeah.
Not on any of
Anybody in
these
the
sites.
chat? Anybody in the chat? Have you guys been on a group date? No one yet.
Right now, no one.
We should all just try and do
Yeah.
a group
Jane had
date.
the worst
Not you,
date.
Carla.
Shall
You can chaperone us.
Yes,
You can chaperone.
Carla can be just observing.
Taylor
Actually-
said Jane stayed infuriated me. Divinity Rock says Jane had the worst date. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was cute, but he was
He said
annoying.
he like wouldn't let her
Terrible.
speak.
He was a jerk.
Back to the Richard thing though. Sarah, you said I'm neutral on Richard. I like that he's nice to Sutton, but I'm not a big shipper. I prefer Alex.
Oh. I like Alex too. Richard's good. Richard has a nice face.
Yeah.
But
He does.
just
I
back
like
to the group date thing, though.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to that too.
Don't you think it would be fun to do if you were single?
Yes.
It would be fun to do
I would
if
do it.
you had best friends like
Like
Oh,
Sutton, and,
definitely,
like, yeah.
right?
I
Like,
would do
think
it just
would
for the
be-
experience and to laugh with my friends and be like, let's just do it. Let's go
Yeah,
get
it's
free
like-
drinks.
Right.
I would
Young
actually do it
ones.
like now with my boyfriend. I'd be like, babe, our friends are going on a date and we have to go there and like just kind of meet the people, see how we feel about everybody, and
Yeah.
like tell them
Yeah.
after. So that way, like afterwards, we could talk to the friends and be like, oh, we like this friend for you, because like we could even do like, because sometimes you want to set your own friends up, but at the same
Yeah.
time, other times you can't. So like I would like, I think it would be fun like if I got some girlfriends together, and then if my boyfriend got some of his friends together, and then they all went like on a group date with like different people, and then we were there just like watching.
You
like,
guys should just do that.
observers.
You guys should just do that.
Like,
That sounds
make
really
sure
cute.
everything is okay, and so I would do that. It would be fun, like just to
a group
see.
date would be fun
Yeah.
because it's like you're
I
just
would do
hanging
it.
out with friends.
Yeah.
It's not forced one-on-one conversation where you're sitting there
Right.
like,
You can totally
Yeah.
text your
Like,
friend.
let me eat.
Yeah.
I hate dull conversation.
Ugh.
As soon as it dies, I freak out.
Me too.
So then I start saying things and I start talking and I just
I
like
hate
I
that.
try to make it I try to overcompensate for the silence, and that I don't know. That probably gets me no dates, but I'm the same way.
I'm a talker. I can't stand silence. I'm like, so
yeah. Like I always need there to be. I think
I don't like silence. I don't like silence either. I'm so with that. Even though I'm kind of a quiet person, which is weird. But Aslan says, I think it's a great idea, especially if you're not comfortable going somewhere alone with a new person for
sure.
reasons.
Very safe.
Yeah, it is very safe. Guys,
yep.
We're gonna try this.
Let's just try it.
Let's go on a group date.
So, guys, I wanted to tell you, I wanted to say this because of what you just said about people feeling safe. I saw this meme the other day. It said about like girls going on dates just to get free food, and then afterwards it said one of these days they're gonna get kidnapped. I was like laughing.
Listen,
I
will say there's times that I've been on dates for some free food and drinks. I'm just throwing it out there.
I thought it was so funny, but I was like, that's true. Like people don't realize like when people tell me like, oh, I went on a Tinder date, I'm like,
well, see, not dates like that. No, not dates like that. I mean, like dates with people I know, like, but that is very dangerous as well. Like,
yeah, I mean, if a friend was like, oh, I'm going on a date, I would be like, okay, well, I'm going there with you.
Yeah,
and I would sit back like 3 tables
Pin me your
behind.
location.
Yeah, I even tell my friends like, share with me your Uber, like from home, like from where we're going to your house, so I know that you made it home safely.
Me and my friends, sorry, really
That's
quick.
okay.
Me and my friends, we do this thing when we're out together, and one of us, we meet a guy. We share the story. My friend, one time we were out in New York City recently. My friend met a guy. They were going to be adults and do their thing. I literally was like, great, I need your address, your number. And he was like, you're insane. I'm like, yeah, but my friend must be alive. So, and they got an Uber. I got the Uber's like license plate. And when I found his address, he lived up the street from me. I was like, I need you guys to text me when you get in. I need my friend not to be murdered. Like that's how we are. Because I don't like the whole going. I'm a great friend.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to give my age a little bit, but after the whole Natalie Holloway thing happened, the young lady who got killed and she went off.
Yes,
me and my friends, I'm not about like letting my friends or even females I know, like if we're out, I'm not gonna let someone go off with like random guys who guys are drinking. I'm like, give me your details. I'm not cock blocking, but I'm momming this situation. I want to make sure you have great sex, but you're alive the next day after. That's it.
There's always a mom of the group.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I'm a cool mom.
You're cool.
You're not like a regular mom.
I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. I want you to get some, but I want you to be alive.
Yes.
Becca, did you have something?
Tiffany Mendez actually said about group dating, I don't think I would do it because when it comes to relationships, I like to keep it to myself at first to see how things go, then later decide to tell my friends if it's going well. So that's an interesting, different point.
That is so interesting because I feel like with my best friend, I tell her everything. So if I were to date somebody and not tell her, she'd be like, "Why wouldn't you tell me?" It's weird.
Right.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to keep.
Yeah, seriously, because my best friend, I ask him like, "Hey, like, so like, what's going on? What are the ladies like?" And he always tells me about whenever there's like a new person or if the old person's out. So if you didn't tell me, I would be like, "Why do you tell me?"
Yeah. But I totally respect that. I'm not sorry. I wasn't saying that I respect that. I'm just like the kind of person that I can't keep my mouth shut. So then I'm like, oh my gosh, I met this person. So I totally respect that. If that makes sense because sometimes you do need to keep things personal, and I totally get that.
I'm the type like when I meet a new guy, I'm like, okay, press conference, everybody.
Yes.
Everyone needs to hear.
Needs to know. Yeah.
Same. When I met my
Richard, it's not public knowledge.
Let me know which one you guys like.
I'm gonna start a Twitter poll.
Exactly.
Devin's starting Twitter polls when she meets people.
I'm exactly the same way like you, Devyn. When I met my boyfriend, I like texted my mom, I called my aunt, I texted my best friends, I was like group chat, I was like, guys, like I was like everybody knew about him even before like we started like even really dating. I was like, oh.
Me and my friends do that. We're in group chats. If we like just start talking to guys, we send like screenshots like, what do you guys think? Is he cute?
I feel like I kind of feel that way.
Yeah. We're like, here's our text convo that I'm sure he wouldn't want you to see. Here's an inappropriate picture. I send them all to my friends.
Speaking of relationships that you're not really sure if your friends approve of, we have Adina and the cat situation. What are we doing here?
It's too much.
It is like playing with fire. And I think that as much as we wanted Kat and Adina to be together, I feel like now we're in this such big push and pull. And we saw that I know, sorry. Becca is so sad about this. She's been catting Kadena for the whole season now. But it's just hard because, you know, we saw her go on this date with this guy and it seemed to be going well. And then she realized, oh my gosh, I don't care about him at all. She still cares about Adina. You know, I mean, I don't know. What are you guys thinking?
Too much. I'm stressed out and I'm not even Kat. You know, I think it is like, you're right, like we all wanted them together, but since like Adina's in Paris with her girlfriend, it'd be different if she was single and they wanted to do their whole long distance relationship thing, but it's kind of one-sided. Even though Adina does have feelings for Kat, she can't really express it the way she wants to. So it's sad to just see Kat like, ugh.
She seems really sad all the time on the phone. I know, I even wrote down like, what is she doing? Because like, doesn't she have a girlfriend? In the beginning of the episode, I kept thinking, wait, did Coco and her break up? I'm confused. Did I miss something? Because they were just acting as if nothing had changed, and it was weird.
Kind of happy that Son gave her that friend talk, like, you gotta stop, like, you're doing too much. They both did.
The fact that she was, like, still in Paris with Coco was definitely, for me, like, turned me off of them as a couple. Like, I don't like that. I didn't like that.
Well, and because I feel like they've been so upfront in the beginning. They were so upfront, and now we're having this kind of secret rendezvous kind of thing where you're like, well, we need some honesty right now. And I think we finally did get that at the end, but it wasn't even, it was more so still kind of a question. And it's just kind of a strange push and pull. It's a lot.
I just like, Kat said in the episode she was going to get some peen. I just want her to like, not even relationship. She doesn't even have to date. I just want her to be happy, and she just seemed really sad. And because she talks to Adina twice a day, she wishes that she could be with Adina, which I get. That's someone you really like. But because they're so far away and Adina is attached to Coco, I kind of just want Kat to
move on.
Yeah, a little bit.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that, like, she's talking to Adina as, like, a safety blanket because she's too afraid to see what else is out there? Because I feel like sometimes we tend to hold on to things that we need to let go far long ago. And I'm wondering if Kat should have let it go when it didn't even get started. It was like before it got started, it got taken away. So it's one of those things where it's almost like I feel like it's going to be one of those relationships that always is a push and pull. So where do we go from here?
I don't think that she's holding on to Adina like a security blanket, because if you think about it, when they went on the group date, she's the only one that actually ended up having like
a good time,
a nice time. And
you're right.
Even though, I mean, to in her defense, when he was like, that guy is terrible, I would have been like, okay,
you're terrible.
Like, he was so close. I'm like, guys always ruin like everything. I'm like, bro, just be quiet.
If I was with a guy and he did that, I'd be like, you're so rude.
And even if he thought it was terrible, like, take the hint. She was like, no, he's not. Like, be a guy and like, okay, she likes it.
Play Freeburg.
Yeah.
Like, bro, calm down. If she's telling you she likes it, pretend that you like it too. I don't know. Like maybe that might give you some points or something.
Yeah.
Guys are stupid.
So anyway, though, I do feel like if that guy hadn't said that comment that really just made him an awful person, I think that she probably would have liked him.
Yeah, she would.
Yeah. Could have, you know.
Because
so
it pushed her more to Adina when he started saying all those horrible things, and then she seen the violin playing and brought back all the memories. So I think you're absolutely right.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and maybe that's actually just what it is the fact that because they never even got to be anything, she has this image in her head of what it could be.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes when you fantasize things more in your head, it makes it even more exciting because you don't even know what it really is going to happen. So,
I love them together, but it's just
right
I want
now
them to
it's
spend
too
some time
stressful.
apart. It's too much.
I think it's too much of a complicated situation, and they both need to like, in a way, grow from this because right now they're just kind of holding back and not really moving forward. And Adina needs to majorly grow from this and be like, you know what, I'm with Coco and I need to respect Coco.
Right.
And then and if she needs to end it and have time for herself and not just jump on a boat and like go on a plane flight to see why am I blanking? Kat. Yeah. So I was like, why am I blanking on her name? Then she can do that like after though. But like I think first, like in order to have like a healthy relationship with Kat, she needs to take time for herself and take time for herself and Coco and just kind of be like, you know what, like this is not going to work out. And then really just because she doesn't really know that it's going to work out with Kat either.
That's very true.
You know, like when they tried it, like this is why she's in Paris, because it didn't work out when it happened.
Right.
So it's kind of one of those things where I think Kat needs to take some time away from Adina and be like, okay, you know what? Like, I really need to just focus on myself, because now she's getting like this kind of like a promotion where she's gonna have more responsibility at work, and that this is time for her to be like, okay, like, let me show them what I can do, like, I'm gonna have assistants and all of that, and then she can focus on like Adina after she's already done all of the other things that have to do with like her work.
It's time to thrive.
I think with that whole thing too is that she just seems a little complicated. Like, she seems stressed out in her job too. She doesn't even seem to really like it.
But she seems like
conflicted.
She seems oh my gosh, so we're just like slipped my mind. You can continue. I'll let you know.
Well, when you think of it, let us know. But I just want to say, people that do love their jobs, though, moving into Sutton, I do want to give her big props to this taking charge, because Cassie was stressing me out.
The whole time I'm like, Cassie needs to be fired. Like, if they're gonna fire one person, it needs to be Cassie.
She was stressing me out. Like, seriously,
it was too much.
What do you mean? Like, you have to go to a shoot. You don't have time to go back upstairs and get something that you didn't have anyways. Like, whatever.
And like Sutton told her, like, you know what you're doing. Just calm down and relax, and you'll get the job done. But because she was in her head and she was overthinking, it's like, girl. And what she did was super shady to Sutton, but I knew that was her.
Yes.
That's happened to me before.
Really?
Where someone, a couple times where someone's taking credit for something that was mine.
Hell no.
What?
I hate it.
What did you do?
Thing ever. I mean, in some situations, I've like come forward about it, and others I just ignore it because like the hassle's not worth it.
Right.
Difficult.
That's tough.
I'd be like, actually,
I'm like, I'm sorry,
that was me.
but I had a feeling. I was like, the photographer, because Jacqueline is the editor-in-chief. I'm like, he probably told her what actually really happened. I feel like Jacqueline always tests the girls. Like, I feel like either the photographer told her after or told her before, and when she wanted to see if Sutton was going to actually speak up, and then she's like, girl, you need to start speaking up for yourself. And don't let Cassie take the credit.
And she might have wanted to see what Cassie would have said.
It's like a test. I feel like Jacqueline is always testing the girls to see like how honest they are and if they're actually good workers and good people.
Definitely.
Real quick.
Yes.
Going back to Kadena, wanted to read a couple comments.
Kadena.
Let's do it.
One, Divinity Rock says Kat is so vulnerable, which I agree with.
Yeah.
Nicole also said something that I definitely agree with. I don't feel pushed or pulled. I love Kadena, and I will go down with the ship.
Oh,
Same.
Yes!
Same.
Team Kadena.
Yes.
Becca is Team Kadena all the way.
And getting to Taylor's. Taylor agrees with Devyn that I don't think she's scared. I think she just felt really hard for Adina and desperately wants it to work somehow.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it.
I love Kadena, you guys.
Kadena.
Yeah.
By the way, my thought came back.
What
I
is
was just
it?
gonna say that she seems distracted.
Very
simple.
Very true.
She seems very distracted from her work, and she's not really enjoying it. She's like FaceTiming, and then she's like
at work. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have time to be.
I don't have
and then,
I don't have time for it.
No, and then like when she had to go gather up the 30 girls, I feel like that would be so much fun. I would be like everywhere, like gathering 30 girls. Like, what do you like about our company? Like, tell us all about this. Like, come. But she came back and she just looked so like stressful and happy about doing it. I was like, oh my gosh.
The whole episode, she seemed kind of like down.
Yeah.
Like every time someone would say something to her that you think she would get excited, she's
Right.
like, okay. But I get it because I think she was also stressed out because of her friends losing their job.
Right.
But she's also very distracted because of Adina, and she wants to be with Adina, at least as she thinks in her mind.
Right.
And it's like, girl, and she's not in her apartment, and it's a lot going on.
It was a stressful episode.
It was.
It was really stressful.
Well, two quick things I just want to touch on with Jane, because we haven't really talked about her character this episode, is that she did a butt facial interview, which got her a lot, like one of the most clicks on the website. I'm so intrigued. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I was going to ask, I'm like, does anyone know what a butt facial is?
I don't know.
And would you guys ever get a butt facial?
No.
What does that even mean?
And a boobgasm. That was the other thing, which is a motorboat thing. No.
No, I've never
don't shoot the
even
messenger.
heard.
This is just what I heard.
No, yeah.
Boobgasms, I guess, is a motorboat thing that's an orgasm with your boobs. And butt facial.
Never heard of.
I think I would have to see what like the whole like facial thing is about.
I haven't heard about the butt facial, but I've heard of like the vagina facial. What? I've heard that on another show. Shout out to Insecure. That was on. I heard women talking about the whole vagina facial. The butt facial,
Crazy.
I'm sure it's just like scrubs. And
yeah, I'm sure it's just like a wax, and then like
that's why I thought wax.
I thought it was just gonna be something like, oh, it's like smooth.
But who has that
Like a
job?
baby.
Yeah, like
Who
really
has to
though.
do the butt facial?
That is something I guess we'll have to hopefully never
Anyone
encounter.
It's the
I don't
same
know.
people that do Brazilian waxes.
Oh,
I'd rather do a
probably.
Brazilian than a butt
That's
facial.
hilarious. Well, before we end it, we should probably get into some predictions. And as we're going into some predictions, you know, do you guys think Jane?
Your AfterBuzz TV
Predictions. Do you think Jane is going to take the job?
No.
No.
Hell no.
I think
Freeform,
she could
you'd be
say
crazy.
yes, to be honest.
But if she says yes, Becca, like, what does that mean for like Scarlett? Like, I feel like that would like make everything the whole like, you know what I mean?
I think she could say yes, and Jacqueline will be like, okay, look, I'll keep your job open for like a day tops.
Oh, to like see what if you like
so
it.
you can come back.
Oh, that's a good point.
Maybe they might
likes
give
it,
her some
maybe?
things, like let her write the political stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe that makes sense. Like maybe it's something where she's like, if this is something you feel like you need to do,
Then do
I'll
it.
let you test it out,
Right.
and if you don't like it, your job will be open for this amount of time.
Yeah.
Must be
That
nice.
makes sense. Yeah, right.
Which I feel like going off that she'll end up not liking it, and then she'll return.
Right.
But do you
I
think
could see
Alex? It's a lot of drama
Yeah.
because then like Alex may find out, then he may be
that.
upset.
Ooh,
Yeah.
so much.
I don't want anyone to leave.
All right. Well, sorry. Before we run out of time, Kia, what are your predictions? For
Predictions. I will say they mentioned Magnolia Bakery. If anyone's never been, they just opened one in LA and it's really delicious. They have the
gonna have to
best
check
banana
it out.
pudding. Just want to throw that out there. Predictions. I do not see. I'm torn. Like because of the show, and the show is about Scarlett, but there's only 2 episodes left. I feel like she's not going to get the job, but I'm kind of with Becca. Like I feel like she may say yes, but Jacqueline may be like, "Hey,
There's
we're gonna give you
definitely a
more
but.
perks,"
Right.
or they may be like, "Fooled ya," or maybe she may give it to Alex. I don't know. Let's see, Kat and Adina, I'm really stressed out. Like I want them to be separate. Not that I'm against them. I just want them to figure it out, and I like want Adina to officially break up with Coco maybe, and then they be separate for a little bit. And Kat, she has this new promotion coming up, and I'm praying that she does a good job with her new job. Jane, as we see in the preview, I think her and Pinstripe, because she actually really does like him. She's not into dating the whole 2 dudes, 3 dudes thing. So I feel like they may work that out and actually become a couple. Let's see. Yeah, that's all I got. Sutton, I feel like because Sutton did such a great job and Oliver's going to come back, I think he may be a little bit nicer to Sutton and she may get a little promotion in there somewhere.
Love it.
That's all I got.
Speaking of
I love it.
Sutton, Nicole
Yes.
says Alex and Sutton drunken one-night stands.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Yes.
I see that.
Yes.
Or a kiss.
I
see that, 'cause
definitely
it's
see
Freeform.
that
I
happening.
see
You're
a
right.
kiss.
Totally see that happening. Devin, what about you? Any thoughts?
I don't think that Jane will take the job with Insight. Is that what it's Insight,
Yeah.
right?
Insight.
I think that Sutton and Richard will rekindle things. I see that happening for sure. And Kat and Adina, I mean, we already saw that there was trouble in paradise in the preview.
Yes.
So I don't know. I don't really have anything specific for them.
That's a lot.
Well, for me, I don't think that Kat is actually going to leave with Adina. I think something's going to come up towards the end and she's not going to be able to go. And I believe that Jean is also not going to take the job and she's going to get back and work things out with Pinstripe Guy. And for Sutton, I would like for her to have the maybe one-night stand with Alex.
Yeah.
But she needs to go right back.
Yes.
To Richard.
Carla's not giving up on Sutton yet.
Right after her one-night
I am
stand.
Team Richard all the way. And actually,
He's
I would
cute.
really like it if Alex took Insight. That way, he would actually be completely out of the picture.
No! But I can see that happening though.
Yes,
thought-
like no one-night stand. I would like for Alex to just like move out of the office
Yes.
and out of sight. And then
Can
that
see
way,
happening.
Sutton
Right.
will be like, actually,
Yeah.
Richard, I love you.
I thought Alex was going to take the job to make it so he could date Sutton or something like that. But
Ooh.
Becca, do you have any predictions?
Taylor's just terrified that Sutton and Richard's secret is still gonna come out.
Oh, I like
say same
that.
to that. She also said, "Damn, Karla, that's cool." Sarah E., this prediction is interesting. Says, I think Kat and Adina might get engaged, so Adina can stay in the country. Jane will stay in Scarlet.
Whoa, that's a good one.
That is a great one. I think we're just gonna have to end on that one.
Wow.
That was amazing.
Yes, I love it.
All right, so many possibilities, so little time. Only 2 episodes left, guys. I can't even believe it. Thank you guys again for joining us. We have so much fun every week. Again, continue to join us in the live chat. Tweet us. We love to hear your comments and all your tweets. It's so much fun. Where can you find us on social media, Becca?
Y'all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV. Also, we have merch now, so check out the AfterBuzz TV Twitter account to see where you can buy it.
Yeah.
Ooh, merch.
I'm here for all things merch.
Fun. Kia, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at Magnolia Bakery, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom.
Devyn.
You guys can find me on all social media at Dining with Devyn.
Karla.
And you guys can find me on Instagram at Karla B Travels and on Twitter at Karla Beltran with an R at the end.
And hey guys, you can find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at Ally Girl. And of course, don't forget to follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.